excited to be joined here today by the lovely Trousdale podcast.
I'd be sick though.
Trousdale podcast.
It's been such a long day. The lovely Trousdale band. I'm going to allow you guys to introduce yourselves.
My name is Lauren.
I'm Georgia.
I'm Quinn.
Oh, guys, I'm so excited. This has been a long time in the making. They've been traveling now for, how many weeks have you been on the road?
Just under 2 months, actually.
Oh my god, I thought you were going to say weeks. No. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I saw the big bus outside. It's very exciting.
Yeah, we're so
you.
stoked to be in a bus. Yeah.
What is that like, out of curiosity?
It is wild. It's kind of like camping, but like it's glamping. It's glamping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Quinn, do you want to add?
Yeah. I mean, we're so lucky to be on the bus right now. We're so grateful. It's our first time ever doing a bus tour, but it's like a way different way of living. I mean, you sleep in the bunks and you wake up in the next city, which is amazing because normally we do sprinter van tours where we're driving like the whole time. So like you wake up and you're driving to the venue for 7 hours and then you have to do a show.
Crazy.
So on a bus, it's like really nice. We genuinely get our rest. But it is interesting living like in such tight quarters to everyone else. Like we're a stacked bus. There's 12 of us.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. And the thing that I really kept bringing up at the beginning of our tour, which I think I've just gotten used to, so I've stopped talking about it, is that you can't flush any solids down the toilet. So you can't shower. You can't even put toilet paper in the toilet. So you're wrapping your toilet paper up and you're putting it in the trash, among other things.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit grimier.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And the water that comes out of the sink is non-potable.
Yeah.
I think that's what they call it. And it basically just means that you really can't drink it. Like there could be bacteria in it. And like so everybody, there's like mixed reviews on like whether or not you can, how, use it. Like I've used it to wash my face. I tried to do it with a water bottle one night.
So hard.
And it was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I just, I'm hoping that so far my skin hasn't come down with any like rare bacterial diseases. So
Flesh-eating bacteria.
Yeah.
Right. Casual. It happens.
Yeah.
But, okay, so you've been traveling for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you miss about, like, living in your own beds and having your space? Or just, like, what is that experience like overall of so much change?
Yeah, I guess it's, I miss, like exiting my bed kind of comfortably. The other day I'm on like the bottom bunk and I got up and I just scraped my back so hard on the top bunk like wood, which was an interesting experience. And also, in the middle of the night sometimes you get up, you pee a lot.
Yes.
And on the moving bus that's definitely like you just don't want to get up, so I end up holding my pee for a really long time and it just kind of keeps you up. I'm running on very little sleep from last night. So I'm looking forward to just like some normal bed sleeps. But there's something about the bus that's so fun. It's such a community. You're just always around people, which for me is really lovely. It's like you never really feel lonely,
Yeah.
because you're around people.
Where are you guys based originally?
LA.
Okay, that was gonna be my guess,
Yep.
but 50-50, I could be wrong. Where in LA? I'm curious.
Yeah, we're all split up. So I'm in Santa Monica and George is in the Valley and Lauren is in Alhambra. So we're all like, if you were to look at those 3 places on a map, we are like the furthest away that we probably could be from each other within LA.
Perfect. So the moment you're off the bus, you never want to see each other.
And when we do, we've got to work so hard to do it. But we do. We see each other so often. Yeah.
The farthest I'll go for my friend. Again, I live in San Francisco, so this is like home for me my whole life.
Yeah.
It's very small. You can walk from like the top of it to the bottom.
Yeah.
So like the farthest I've ever traveled for a friend is like maybe a 20-minute bus ride.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. We're doing like hour and a half sometimes, depending on traffic.
Which is like nothing at this point now. I'm just like, an hour and a half. Like,
I know.
Totally.
Yeah.
That you could like go to Sacramento.
I know.
Like that's
Totally.
far.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's travel.
Los Angeles.
Yeah. I'm gonna pretend that I haven't stalked you.
So totally.
For the sake of everyone else who's watching, how did you guys meet? How did you become friends? Walk me through it.
Yeah. So the 3 of us met in college like 11 years ago now, which is crazy. Yeah, we all met at USC down in LA. We were studying music together, and we pretty quickly formed the band. I think like our fall semester of our freshman year.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that was quick.
Oh,
yeah,
it was quick.
Yeah. I don't think obviously like the level of seriousness with which we have taken the band has like increased over time. I think when we first started, it was just such a fun, like joyful activity for us to kind of do outside of school.
Yeah.
And I think Georgia and I got paired up together in a songwriting class, and then we brought Quinn in to finish the song and add some harmonies, and we performed it for class. And everybody, you know, being in music school, usually people are pretty judgy, you know, and very competitive, but we did that performance and everybody was like, wow, that was really amazing. And we were like, wow, really? Like, okay, cool. Like, there must be something special here. And like, and I think for us, it was just like so much fun. So we continued doing it and played shows in campus and all around LA. And then we took a little bit of time off after college and then really started back up the band in 2019. And then the pandemic hit. And we started self-producing because we were all isolating. And then, yeah, like 2021, we kind of started. I think things started opening up again, and we've just been hitting the pavement ever since.
No, it's true. And what is the process of... So you guys went really viral on TikTok during, like, quarantine. That's when... I think your harmonies are really what people... Like, those videos went very viral. What is, like... What was it like to open your phone and just be like, whoa, that's a lot of people? And did it change overnight, or like what did that look like?
Yeah, it totally did. We were making TikToks just for fun while we were recording our first songs that we were putting out. So we were recording Wouldn't Come Back and our cover of Wouldn't It Be Nice. And we were at this studio. So like during the breaks, we were just kind of like standing together, and I had started like really being a TikTok consumer in 2020, like big time. So then,
like us all.
Yeah. So then I was like, Lauren, Georgia, like let me just put the phone up. Let's do this thing very quickly. I was like writing out arrangements, like sheet music of like, let's just do this thing. Like it'll take 20 minutes. And yeah, we had a cover of Electric Love, which was like the viral song at that time that we did. And we posted it and it didn't get any views. We weren't really getting any views. And then, yeah, like one day it just randomly like hit the algorithm like weeks after we'd posted it. And it's so funny because it's such a like TikTok is, we have probably close to 300,000 followers on TikTok, but the conversion to anything else is like not very promising. So like you could get a ton of likes or something viral on TikTok and it doesn't really convert to people coming to your shows or anything.
Yeah.
But when that first was happening, we were like, oh my, this is the craziest thing ever. Like, so many people are liking it. And it was really exciting because we hadn't done any shows yet. And so that did help us to get some streams on Spotify and some playlists. And some of our team members, like our publishing company, they found us through TikTok, and we found a lot of mutual friends and musicians and artists that we've worked with and gotten to know because of it too. So it was very cool, and like really glad that we started incorporating that into our social media presence.
Yeah, Quinn was really the TikTok leader. Lauren and I were like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Let's film a video.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm so glad we did.
I'm the most chronically online, so it kind of had to be me, you know?
It's really bad. Both of us are really... Behind the camera, for everyone, there's Caroline, our lovely producer, and she's the most, like, online... The stalking is her art.
Oh, I love that. I respect that.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm like, there's this person, she's like, literally, like, give me 10 minutes.
Yes. I love that. Everybody needs a friend like that.
Yes. It's so true.
Yeah.
Yes. One time my friend, she went out with this guy who she had met... Like, she slipped him her phone number at a cafe, and she's not thinking much of it. He, like, responds, and it's like, I'd love to go out sometime. They go out. She didn't ask for his Instagram, so I had only the first name. I had the first name and where he worked.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, I had his LinkedIn, his Instagram, his home address.
God. Yes.
It was so impressive. And when I tell you, I was using every trick in the book. I was like... it was intense, and I had like 2 computers, and it looked like one of those movie scenes.
Yeah.
It was so worth it, and we figured out that he was a little weird.
Oh,
so.
there you go.
What can I say? Saving lives.
No,
it's
honestly,
hard work.
yeah, it's like a form of self-defense.
Yes.
I think women, they've got to stick together. I think that's why we're
Thank
particularly good at that.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so.
You gotta know. You gotta figure it
You
out.
gotta scope.
Oh,
yeah, you gotta scope.
If the FBI was just a bunch of like teenage, early 20-year-old women, we would be unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Yes. Let's go.
I totally agree.
I would die on that hill. But so you guys, I'm guessing you're not all from LA originally, or did you? So you went for college to USC, but where are you from originally?
I'm originally from LA, so I didn't go very far.
Really?
Yeah, I was gonna go further, but then once I got accepted to the university we went to, I was like, might as well go there.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I did, because I met these 2 ladies.
No, it's true. It was fate.
And I grew up in Michigan.
Where in Michigan?
Bay City.
Okay, I have no
Are you from
idea.
Michigan?
No, I'm from San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but recently I went to Minneapolis, and a lot of people were talking about Michigan and telling me that they are the drunkest state in America.
Michigan.
No, it's Wisconsin. I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say, I was like,
I'm so sorry. It's Wisconsin.
Yeah, no,
Guys,
I know.
please don't flame me.
No,
I'm
I've
so
heard that
sorry.
about Wisconsin too.
Really?
I'm sure there's like
didn't
there's plenty of like alcohol drinkers in Michigan as well, for sure.
Where are all the Irish? I feel like that's where you're gonna find it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's very true. And
Yeah.
you're
I was born in upstate New York, but moved to LA when I was in 4th grade. So I also was
So
like
you're
very
also
close to
from LA.
USC. Yeah. And
this
yeah,
is
did not go
crazy.
far at all from home.
I thought that you guys were gonna be not from LA. This is shocking.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people who live in LA aren't from LA. Like
Right.
it's rare to meet
Right.
like
It's
somebody
rare
who's
to
from.
be. Same thing with San
Yep.
Francisco. That's why I'm like,
Yeah.
this is shocking
Yes.
for me.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because they're very much transplant cities. Like
Yes.
a lot of
Yes.
people come in and they live their lives there, especially because you guys have the acting and the hub
Yep.
of music and blah 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 is
Totally.
usually there, so it makes sense that people would move.
Yeah.
Mhm. Same with New York City too. I
Yes.
feel like it's rare to meet someone born and raised in the city. So many people move in.
I feel like it's usually because a lot of those cities aren't great to grow up in
100%.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just me. My best friend went to Brentwood High School in LA.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she just said that it was like a very toxic culture and it can be hard to grow up
Yeah.
in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Brentwood is.
Yeah.
Just shaking her head.
Rough,
That
yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It seems like they're like LA is just such a it's like 20 different small cities like all just in the same place.
Yes.
And I feel like there's a lot of different neighborhoods and some of them like they all have their own culture. It really
Yes.
is so
Very true.
pieced out like that.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Like, I feel like, Georgia, you might have potentially had more of that, like the stereotypical high school.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I went to Calabasas High School,
Oh.
and yeah, for some
I know
reason,
that one.
you know that one or you don't?
I do know that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know that one.
Yeah, I went to performing arts middle school, and then after that, I was like, I want to be a cheerleader. I want to have the classic high school experience.
Really?
And then so I went to Calabasas because my dad worked in that area, and anyway, I went to that school and immediately joined choir and a cappella and never did anything else other than music. But a lot of people that went to that school were your stereotypical like Kardashian, like Calabasas vibe, what you think. But if you follow music, you'll always find some nerds like you.
Totally.
Yeah, some nerds.
Totally.
And Quinn, you too, Santa Monica High School.
Yeah. I feel like my high school was so big and it was pretty diverse. And there were so many private schools in the area, but I went to a public school that I feel like I escaped that a little bit. But I also was not cool and didn't have many friends, so that might have had to do with it too. I could have been more like that if I was more popular.
No, but here's the thing.
hard to tell.
I firmly believe that the weirdos in like middle school and high school end up being the best people in the world.
Totally.
100%.
Totally.
You just age like fine wine.
Yeah.
Like you're funnier and better to be around and
Yeah.
a lot more humble. It's fantastic. So
Yeah.
I take it as a plus.
Totally agree.
But so okay, so you've traveled for 2 months. What has been your favorite city thus far?
Ooh.
I feel like, oh my god, all the cities are are amazing. We're so lucky to get to do this.
She definitely has a favorite.
I do. I feel like I loved DC.
Yeah.
Every time we go to
Really?
DC. Yeah. We've been there many times now, and every time we go to the same street, because we have played like the 930 Club, and then we played Atlantis and those venues on like this particular street. And every time we go there, it's like in the middle of our run, and it's a particular mental time for me of like, all right, I'm getting into the groove, I'm finding my rhythm, and just exploring that street even always feels really lovely. And then the people that come to the DC show, also Seattle, but like those shows so far for us in our touring journey, those shows have been really like, they've popped off.
Totally.
And it's been fun.
I feel like it's also been like, for the DC show specifically, the venue that we played, we've only opened for other artists there multiple times. And so for us to be the headliners of that same venue felt like a really big moment for us, which was sick.
Do you explore the cities? Like, how long do you usually have in a city before you leave?
Not very long at all.
No time.
I honestly feel like I'm just literally in the last like couple days have been finding my rhythm.
I know you've been getting you've been getting out.
Yeah, and which I'm like, of course, now it's like literally we're days away from it ending.
Wait, you are?
Yes.
This is the end of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got today, tomorrow, and then LA, and then we're done.
And then you're, oh my god.
Yeah.
Guys.
I know.
That's actually heartbreaking. So you're very close to being home and going into your bed.
Yes.
Yeah, really close.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
And flushing toilet paper down the toilet.
Oh, miracle.
Lovely.
It's gonna
Can't
bring
wait.
you so
Counting
much
down the
joy.
hours.
Probably gonna start by just throwing it into the trash can out of habit, and then
Totally.
slowly relearning how to use the toilet
Yes.
again.
Yes. Yes.
I would just flush the toilet so many times for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Just be like, yes.
Freedom.
What are you guys gonna do once you're home?
I'm actually hopping on a flight to Copenhagen for my cousin's wedding.
Oh, I hate you. Everyone's going to Copenhagen but me. And it's literally the only place I wanted to go this year.
Oh my
but it's, like,
God.
so chill, and you're gonna love it so much.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Oh my gosh, you're 19.
I'm 19.
Wow, I definitely thought you were older. You carry yourself like you're older.
Yeah,
there is, I think it's, I have to ask my sister, but there are like youth flights that you can get. Maybe it's Amsterdam. I can't remember exactly where it is, where you can get them for like so cheap with a specific airline. I'm gonna ask my
Hook me up
sister
with that,
and
please,
I'll
because-
text you guys.
What is everyone else doing then?
I'm for like the next week probably just sleeping.
Hibernating?
Yeah, like getting
fair.
out, walking around, just like my neighborhood to get coffee, then going back to like my own place in my own bed.
Just snow angels on the carpet.
Yeah, exactly.
So nice.
Just kiss the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, probably just like decompressing, honestly, because we've been technically on and off the road since the end of April, but we've only had a few days in between each leg, so we've really been gone. So it'll just be nice to be. Well, I'm also going to be leaving a few days after Lauren, but I teach at a music camp. So, and it's in LA, like a little bit out.
Same one that you?
No, it's an a cappella camp. I've told you I was a nerd. I am a nerd. But
We're
it was
that bad.
We're all nerds.
yes. It's called Acapella Academy, and I was a camper when I was 18, and so I've been working there, and it's like 2 weeks. So Lauren will leave a few days later. I'll leave, but I'll be home for like 5 days. Something nice like that.
Somehow, so prior to this episode, I went to Boston and we filmed with Elio, who's a Harvard a cappella singer who's really big on TikTok.
Cool.
And I just love the fact that somehow we managed to put a cappella into 2 episodes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know how this is happening because it's literally the most niche thing in the world to me.
That's what you think, and then everywhere you turn, somebody's done collegiate a cappella.
It's just like queerness.
Yeah.
Like everybody's probably a little queer. Everybody's probably done
probably a
acapella.
little-
As the years go on, you
Totally.
find out more and more.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true. Pitch Perfect really had an impact on me as a kid.
Oh my God.
huge. Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
It's fine. So
good.
But so you guys have been with each other now for 11 years on and off, and I'm guessing you're close friends. It'd be awkward
Yeah.
if you like weren't. And
Yeah,
this
can you
is all
imagine?
a ploy.
Yeah.
It's all facade.
We
Awkward.
barely know each other.
Yeah, exactly. So how have you guys how has that friendship worked, and has there been moments where it's been like on and off, or tell us more basically, and you can answer that in whatever way
Yeah.
you'd like
Yeah.
to.
I feel like we're so lucky because we all met at such a young age, such a specific time in all of our lives where we were discovering ourselves as artists, and we all were friends first, which just laid such a groundwork for just female friendship and support. And I think we've all grown so much through being close, and now this band being more of a business, that our friendships are like the business side and also best friends. So there's so much that I think we all are always forced to look at within ourselves, just to make sure that the friendships stay the most important. So we're always working on communicating with each other better. I think all of us have had to become, like, I would say, expert communicators because of this band. And sometimes I forget that, but then I'm like around other people and I'm like, holy crap. Like, wow, we really know how to communicate, you know?
Yes, like that thing was so hard for you to do. Like, we do that on a daily basis.
Daily, yeah, that's like nothing. That's like not even a something to worry about. Like conflict resolution, like
and having to like be uncomfortable, like be in uncomfortable situations and letting that be okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like I've gotten a lot better at, because we all like are around each other and we know each other so well, and where we're at emotionally just inherently affects each other. Yeah. And I think it's so respectful to the people around you to just be like, heads up, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Like, it's not you. Like, just so you, it's almost like it's a service. Like, it's it means you care about somebody when you kind of let them know where you're at, which I think for so long I would always be like, I'm gonna hide it, but they know me so well that they're like, something's wrong, you know? Yes. And that's like not the way to go about it, I've learned, and that's helped me in my other relationships too. Even separately, but right now I'm in like a really good romantic, I have a great partner, and even that relationship has like helped me in this band too, to just have somebody that also is a good communicator. And I don't know. Yeah. I think, we all just like love each other. We all respect each other. We've got the business and we've got the friendship, and the friendship always comes first.
Yeah. I think we've done a really, really good job of like committing to each other every day, like making that commitment and like a promise to each other that we're going to work on it and we're going to stick together so long as we all feel good and we're happy and healthy. And the stakes are so high, I think, because it's like, we're looking at the rest of our lives together, potentially. It's like a marriage and a business.
Yeah, our
and
finances are connected.
Yeah,
you know?
like it's serious. Yeah. And I think we take it seriously, and we put a lot of love and care into the relationship and ourselves for the sake of the relationship, you know?
Yeah, and we're so different.
Yeah.
Really?
It's, you know?
But I feel like, yes, we are different, I think, because we're looking at ourselves so closely all the time. But like from the outside, we're like probably like we're so
that's
similar.
What, we like say the same thing.
Someone came to the Portland show, and I was talking to her afterwards, and I was like, I said something. She was talking about how great it was to see us all on stage, and I was like, I know we're all so different. And she was like, you say that? I know that you think that. You are not.
I know. Like literally, even like down to our height, we're like all the same height. We have the same political beliefs. Like we all have the same like core beliefs and values. Yeah. Like there's a lot going on that is very aligned.
Right. Totally.
It wouldn't work if that wasn't.
Yes, exactly.
We're different enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We're at this point, we're like thinking about the minutia of our personalities and communication styles, and we're like very different.
Right.
Do you have any like wise words for younger folks who might be struggling as they get older to just, you know, build their friendships, ensure that they last longer, especially through these big transitionary periods? Since you guys have gone through it yourselves.
Yeah. I feel like if like sensing when something is going on, or even preventatively asking each other, checking in with each other to like really hear what someone else is dealing with. I think that it like the walls can come down when like you feel like somebody really just wants to hear you for the sake of hearing you, instead of like putting up like being ready to fight about something based off of an assumption of what's going on, just to like really like they're usually at the end of the day, like there's love there, and like we all love each other, and to know that like whatever the issue is something else, and like that's not really where the root of it is, and to really just check in with each other purely to hear their side of like what's going on for you, I think is like so helpful to come at things in that way. I feel like I'm still learning how to do that without being afraid that like I've done something just to hear like what's going on with someone else, you know? I feel like that's huge with friendships too, of just to hear someone else out about what's going on with them without it having anything to do with you.
I feel like de-escalation within yourself and also like with other people is like a really helpful tool, or like being able to just take space when you're not really sure how you're feeling, or you're feeling like your emotions are really heightened about something, and you maybe have an instinct to lash out or like say something that you might regret, and then instead making the choice to just tell yourself like, okay, I'm actually gonna go outside and like take a breath and like think about this, or take a couple days and reflect and come back at this, because that for me has always, I mean, we all learn how to solve problems through our parents, you know, and our parents aren't perfect people either, so sometimes there's some like unlearning, some, you know, rehashing that I think you have to do as an adult to like figure out how you are going to deal with problems and deal with conflict. I know for me, I like working with Quinn and Georgia has been such a great exercise in empathy and coming at things with love and really just thinking like, okay, this actually isn't the biggest deal right now, and like if I just take a step back, what is actually going on? Oh, I'm actually just feeling insecure about this thing.
Yeah, totally.
And I think it's really important to be a safe space for someone else, because if I was like, I'm actually just feeling insecure, and then somebody was like, oh, well, that's lame. Like, you're feeling insecure. You know what I mean? Like, then that's not good either.
Or to take or use it against you in some way. Then you don't feel safe to say those things to each other.
Yeah. I was just going to add, I feel like I second what both of you guys just said, and also always remembering that, like, the love isn't on the line. Like, if you're bringing something up or if you're worried that somebody's upset with you, that doesn't mean, like, for me, I have to work on not thinking that, oh my God, I'm going to lose this person's love, you know, because of some misunderstanding. And I think, like, trusting that misunderstandings don't equal the end of the relationship or love going away. And also just not being like the victim of your life and knowing that like things aren't happening to you, things are just happening.
How do like your emotions channel into your writing, and is it a collaborative experience, or does someone come and be like, hey, this just happened to me with this person, or I'm feeling this way, can we like write it, or like how does the process of collaboration around music making happen?
It's super collaborative. I feel like collaboration is such an art in itself, and being in this band, we're all three great writers on our own, and coming into a Trousdale writing session, there's a huge aspect of compromise and leaning into the other people that you're writing with, their skills and how they see the world, and our relationships with each other are so huge for that, and like respecting each other's musical taste and like ideas. A lot of our songs start from a combination of songs starting from a personal individual experience that we then bring to the band of like, okay, I went through this heartbreak, like, ladies, let's write about it, you know?
Pen to paper.
Yeah. And then they'll bring their take to it, and heartbreak can be anything. It doesn't have to be romantic. You know, you have heartbreak all the time in life. So I think it's beautiful to get to share those topics, even if they're not personal experiences for each of us, and put our takes into those songs. And then also a lot of songs just start with the three of us in a room being like jamming and talking, and then, you know, like Growing Pains started with us just chatting about tour.
Sorry, I love the whole album, but the song is really good. We were talking about it before, our favorite songs.
Thank you.
Like, that one's my favorite, or If I'm Honest.
Thank you.
That's another one of my favorites.
Thanks.
We're very excited we get to actually watch the concert after this. But do you guys have a favorite song, actually? Now I'm curious. From the entirety of your discography. And I know that's a lot. Sorry.
No.
Before this, we were talking about the fact that sometimes when you mention a favorite song to someone who's like a diehard for whatever artist it is, they're like, you don't like Bee Boo Bop from their like unreleased SoundCloud.
Totally.
And it's like, oh my god, no.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Bee Boo Bop.
Yeah.
I love people.
It's actually their next album, guys. Oops, leaked.
I love our song Out of My Mind. I feel like the recording and our live version, it like taking both of them into account combined, that one, like, it always changes, we always say that, but like off the top of my head, I just love that one. Yeah
I love Always Joni, and
a really good one.
yeah, I love that one.
I don't know.
It's like picking a favorite child.
Yeah, I guess my favorite song right now is "Sleeping at the Wheel" off the new record.
Yeah.
That's been a good one for me recently. But yeah, it always changes.
I think we're very easygoing. We have like a very typical rider, and it's interesting. I think the more we've done it and the more we've started really living on the road, you start to understand like why some people have very specific things of like you don't even get any time to like go to a store. So like some people ask for like socks and underwear on their riders, and it's like because you don't have time or a place to even do laundry. But ours is very like, we've got sparkling water, we've got some beautiful fruits and veggies on a platter out there. That's rare.
I was
That's
like,
super
wow.
rare.
We've not had that once, like a platter like that. So you guys are seeing a rare moment of the venue has provided it. We don't force anyone to do that.
I was setting up the podcast and I just heard someone go, "Oh my god, they have fruit!"
Yeah,
it was like
exactly.
excitement.
No, it's like the first time we've tasted fruit in like weeks.
Literally.
And sometimes there's not like enough hospitality budget to get a rider even, so we usually
it's nothing.
There's been a lot of shows on this run where we just like haven't had anything at all, and it's just kind of like, okay, like you gotta order some food or find your time,
or like we had
go
to
get
pay for
something.
water at one of the green rooms. Like we couldn't even get water, so it
that's
varies
insane.
like greatly between the venues.
So the process of building an album, this is a total 180, and I apologize.
No, let's take
or
it.
360. Sorry, Charlie XS was I was playing that before this. But so building an album, where does that start? What does it look like? How long does it take on average as well? I know nothing about this process, so I'm very curious. Talk to me.
Well, it takes, however long you want it to. Our first album took like 2 years because we really like, the process was very different than the way we did the second album. The second album, we went in for 2 weeks to a live recording studio, and we recorded the instruments at the same time. And then we went in for 2 weeks after that and recorded the vocals. And then after that, there's like mixing and mastering and stuff. So overall, I'd say it took like a couple months. Yeah. Not that long.
No, that's not long at all.
Yeah. But then the writing of the songs takes, however long you want to come up with the songs.
Yeah, I feel like we write like pretty often, like throughout whatever part of the album cycle we're in. And so we usually always have like at least a few songs to start that are already done and like just waiting to be recorded. So I feel like there's like the matter of just kind of figuring out which songs are going together and then writing the rest of them. And we worked with John Mark Nelson, who's a dear friend and amazing songwriter and producer in and of itself himself. And I think that it was it brought a lot of more joy to the process to like have help in that part of it, and just having like another person that's on the ground and like able to be in their studio working, because we're just traveling a lot these days, and so it's harder to find time to really spend a solid amount of time in the studio. But we worked with some really great musicians, and we tracked drums, electric guitar, and a bass all at the same time.
That's crazy.
Which was so much better, and I think we'll probably continue to do that.
Yeah, like we're such a live band. We always have been. And when we did our first album, we went in instrument by instrument, which I do think was like what we could afford to do at that time. And like the way that made the most sense for us to go about it. But it took way longer. And doing it this time with everyone at once, there's less editing, there's less chopping up like the parts that have been recorded. It's very organic and like the instruments are just naturally like glued together because they were playing at the same time. So it feels really authentic, and was just so many less hours of sure. Recording and editing. So yeah, I feel like that we're learning every time we do anything. We learn more, whether it's like playing a show, going on tour, writing together, doing an album, and so we learned a lot after the first one. And I think this one, there was a lot more joy and ease with it, and we kind of let the songs speak for themselves before we went in and tweaked them, which I think was really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, where did the name Trousdale come from?
The name Trousdale came from a street that went through our college, and we named ourselves... No, we like started playing together. Lauren was like, we need to go on tour. And we were like, whoa, awesome. Maybe we should like be a band then first and like write some songs if we want to go on tour. And then I don't know if we started writing songs first or we were like, we're going to be a band. And like we were figuring out the logistics of it already before we like had even played together, which I feel like is very typical of us. Kind of like a like shoot for like this goal first and then figure out the other things that we need to get there. Big dreamers. But we were sitting by a Trousdale Parkway sign, which just, the street went straight through our campus. And we were deciding between the Sorrow Sisters and Carolina Blue, among other things. And then we saw the sign of Trousdale, and we were like, oh, let's do Trousdale.
Yeah. I feel like there was always
literally
something about the name, too, that felt very, like... I feel like we knew there's something about one word that was satisfying.
Yes.
And
very bandy.
Yes.
Yeah. And something that was like kind of genderless and like ambiguous. It just feels like we wanted it to like kind of take on a life of its own.
We want it to be legendary.
We wanted to be legendary, kind of, timeless,
like the Beatles.
We were thinking the Beatles, we were thinking Trousdale. Okay, those sound like they could go together.
And now we basically are.
Yeah, basically. We're
The Beatles.
practically Sergeant.
Practically.
Sergeant Trousdale.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
Sergeantress.
Well, with that, I've enjoyed this so much. Thank you for
us
coming
too.
on our podcast.
Thank you for having us.
And we're so excited. We'll film some other stuff and clip it into here of like the concert and everything. And
Hell yeah.
But with that, I will sign off. XOXO Quilly Girl. Mwah. Bye, guys.